are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the always lovely and talented Andrea Kay, the always incredible Urban Miaris, and we have one of our return guests on. Welcome, Scott Stewart from California Estate and Elder Law.
Hi, guys.
So, how are things in the elder community, Scott?
Oh, wow. Well, things are the same as they always are. It's a challenging world with our seniors. They are still confronting the long-term care issues, and lots of interesting things going on in the community out there right now.
Right. And you're calling us from the Alzheimer's Center out there, aren't you?
I am. I'm actually in the Alzheimer's Association offices, and they're gearing up for their big walk in Balboa this weekend, which should be a absolutely amazing and fun event. So, if you want to walk and help out a great cause, that'd be a great thing to do. I'm sorry, it's October 17th is the date of that event.
Great. Well, I asked you to chime in today because I want to talk a little bit about how we deal with the elderly and how long-term care comes into play. So talk a little bit about what you do and how we can help some of the seniors with long-term care.
All right, so I'm an elder law attorney, and elder law attorneys are a subset of estate planning attorneys. I'm principally concerned about planning for your life as opposed to what happens after you pass away. So as my partners and I kind of discuss and talk it through, what I'm really interested in is making sure that in the fourth quarter of your life or the last bit of your life during retirement, if you were to have a medical condition that required some form of assistance, that you actually get the result that you want, that you take responsibility and take control and memorialize what you want and put it into a plan. And unfortunately, for many years, estate planning attorneys have ignored that issue, and that's been quite problematic. I actually think it's so problematic because roughly 2/3 of that population are going to require some form of help, and yet less than 10% have even discussed what their preferences are with even their spouse. Right. So there's a huge disconnect between what's going to happen and what people anticipate is going to happen.
Right. Well, most of the estate planning attorneys have always focused on the ultra wealthy, not necessarily the everyday family out there. And when we talk about fourth quarter planning, you're dealing mostly with the people that don't have the money to hire the firms for the large estate plans. Am I correct?
Well, my client base is typically, people who've got, let's say $4 million and under in assets total. And that would include their house and their IRAs and pension plans and the like. And there's an interesting study by Northwestern, a long-term care insurance company, that found that an estate worth $4 million could not sustain a long-term care event. That family would actually be bankrupt, at the end of a 10-year window.
With $4 million estate?
A $4 million estate could not sustain a long-term care event.
Wow.
Because of, and it was shocking. I looked at that and was absolutely floored. Now, these aren't my numbers. These are from Northwestern. But the long story short is that, these are folks that fully anticipate that, oh yeah, I can self-insure, or oh yeah, I can solve these problems. And at the end of the day, they don't have a plan. A plan is imposed upon them, and often that plan results in absolute financial devastation. So elder law attorneys are what we're trained to do is we're trained to help people with that, help you understand what your options are, and then critically to figure out different ways to get money to pay for it, because there is lots of government programs out there that will pay for care, whether it's in home or in assisted living or, skilled nursing, and even in some cases, residential care or board and care facilities. So there is money out there that will help you with that, but you often have to do stuff to qualify, and that stuff is the same stuff that traditional estate planning attorneys used to do for the uber wealthy to avoid taxes. And so we basically take the same strategies that have been approved by the IRS for years and apply it to the middle class and help them get help to pay for care, because that tends to be the biggest problem that's going to be confronting these families.
Like one person told me, I didn't know long-term care was going to be this long.
Or
with the medical, we're living longer than we've ever done before.
Yes, absolutely.
I had a client of mine who lived in a facility with severe dementia for over a decade.
Wow.
And we've seen, I personally have one client of mine who right now is paying over $30,000 a month for care. We're going to cut that bill down considerably because there'll be financial assistance to help them with that. But you can just imagine that someone who, is ill and needs help and has a spouse that's at home, and if you're paying, I don't know, $10, $15, $1,000 or even up to $30,000 a month, that doesn't leave very much left for your spouse to take care of them, and it really doesn't leave anything left for whatever you intend to give to your kids.
Right. And
you've got the right to do that.
Yeah. So Scott, what are some of your basic? We don't have all day to go through all your solutions and what have you, and I'm not sure you want to do that on the radio anyway. But what are some of your basic solutions for some of these clients in need?
Well, the first thing I think people need to do is they need to make sure their estate plan reflects what they want to have happen and incorporates, the discussions about what their plans are and what their desires are. More often than not, I see estate plans that don't do that. In fact, I just went up and visited with a gal yesterday up in Fallbrook, and her estate plan said, my husband who has dementia is going to be in charge of my IRA and 401k and my health care in the event that I become injured or I need help. And so if she, got into a car accident and was unconscious or couldn't manage things, her husband, who's living in a nursing home, is going to be the one who's going to be in charge of making sure that she's taking her RMDs out of her retirement plans, and then interfacing with the doctors, making sure that she's getting the care that she needs. And he himself is institutionalized, and there was no one else in the plan, indicating who would succeed him. So since he's not competent and there's no one else, then she's put into the untenable position of having to go to court and having the court be the person who's going to make the decisions and appoint the person who will do that, which is just an absolute disaster.
Yeah, Scott, one of the things that just comes to mind as you're talking about that is, in the old days when we would talk about estate planning for clients and even those very wealthy clients, it was more that, income taxes are a mandatory tax. You pay whatever falls to the bottom line on your tax return.
Right.
Yet estate taxes were always elective. Okay, well, that's actually still true to some extent, but really the type of clients that you service, that's really it. They have an elective to take care of all their long-term care needs. They can plan and deal with it, or they can let the chips fall where they may and let their family pay for it by diminished assets. Am I correct?
Well, right. They're going to pay for it by diminished assets, or they're going to pay for it by, actually physically paying for it. One of the families I met with yesterday, the son has been paying $3,000 to $4,000 a month to keep mom at home, and he's going to be doing that for the foreseeable future because mom doesn't want to pursue or doesn't understand that she has the right to pursue benefits that would actually pay him to take care of her. So instead of having this be a big cash withdraw, with the big, as Ross Perot would say, the big sucking sound of your money being sucked out of your wallet. Instead of that happening, this could actually be, money being paid to the son to take care of mom, which he's already doing. And the government and these programs are actually designed to do that so that mom stays out of a facility and mom can age at home and receive the care that she's entitled to. Mm-hmm. So really understanding what your options are is really important, and planning ahead and understanding that, you're not alone. There is help out there. There's support out there, whether it's, from elder law attorneys or other nonprofit organizations that are ailment specific that can help you with that. There is help. You're not alone.
That's great. Hey, Scott, we're starting to run short on time. Tell our listeners how they find out more about California estate and elder law.
Well, the easiest way is just to give us a call. Someone will chat with you, and you can call us at 619-282-1194. That's, we're local here in San Diego, so that's the easiest way to do that. Or, if you look us up online at you Google California State and Elder Law. That would be a fantastic way to find us as well. And we can help you out. There's lots and lots of stuff out there. But give us a call. That's the easiest way. You can chat with me personally, and we'll figure out your problem. That number again is 619-282-1194.
Great. Hey, thanks for being with us, Scott.
Hey, thanks, Barry. You guys have a great day, and come out to Beerbower on the 17th and walk to end Alzheimer's disease.
We will.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Right.
You're listening to Close Up on Syndicate Business here at KCPQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsyndicate.com or find our page on Facebook. Want to hear from you? I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with Andrea Kay and Urban Miaris. We have our next guest online with us. Welcome, Wendy Beerbower from Equity Key.
Hello. How are you, Barry?
Good. How about you?
Great, thank you.
Good. Hey, I kind of loaded or stacked the deck here this time because we had Scott Stewart from California State and Elder Law on, and I wanted you to follow up with that because elder law is a huge issue out in across the country today. And, there's a lot of ways to do it, a lot of ways to take care of it, and Scott can do all the planning. But I wanted to bring Equity Key in because you have a unique method that you use in, let's call it, I don't know whether you call it home financing, equity sharing, however, but we can combine Equity Key with long-term care and essentially get long-term care insurance costs paid for nothing out of pocket. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we're seeing that use a great deal. So just to get everybody up to speed, what Equity Key does is we help people access cash through home ownership. And so if someone owns a home, we're able to give them cash today, and in exchange, we get a percentage of the future appreciation of their real estate. So, for instance, if a home started at $750,000 when we started our deal, and when the home is sold in the future, it's sold for $1 million, that $250,000 of appreciation Equity Key would share with the homeowner. And the homeowner could decide what percentage to share with us up front. But then they get cash up front that they can put to work with no payments and no interest. And so the use of that for long-term care insurance is very powerful, and we're seeing that a great deal.
Well, but that's only one use for the money. What I love so much, and I guess it hasn't changed since we first started talking to you, Wendy, is that they can really use the money for anything, right?
Absolutely. There's no restriction at all. The money is theirs. We're buying a portion of future appreciation and paying for it. And so when they get that money, it's theirs to use in any way that they wish. In fact, we just did a deal with a couple 2 weeks ago, and they don't have children. And so they came to us and said, look, we understand that we don't have kids who are going to take care of us when we're needing some additional care in our senior years, and we just don't have the money right now liquid to pay for the long-term care insurance. And so they just felt like this would be a great way for them to access that, as well as put additional funds away for retirement. This just allowed them to really sock away some funds and that could provide some additional income to them in retirement, and get rid of some of the risk associated with home ownership. I mean, the amount of money that people have tied up in their homes and the amount of equity that they have tied up in their homes that they can't access is creating a real issue with people. They're so proud of themselves that they've paid off their mortgage, and then come to realize that all of their money is now locked up in a completely illiquid asset. And so we're trying to help.
That's called a non-performing asset.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
And it may be growing, but it's not performing because it's not doing anything for them. And, what I want to add into that is because, my foundation in this business was getting into the senior community, working in Medicare supplements, and one of the original producers in long-term care. And where the market has gone over the last 30 years since I started in this thing is, you can use capital out of your home that you don't have any monthly payments for. You don't have any interest rate tied to it, and you're giving up a share of future appreciation in trade for a single pay long-term care policy that can cover all or part, depending on how you do it, all or part of your long-term care needs for the rest of your life. And
that's amazing.
It is amazing, but even the more amazing thing about it is, let's step back in time and go back to 2008. Okay, 2008, real estate took a huge dip, and we all felt the pain. Right? Mm-hmm. So if we turn around and look at using Equity Key in conjunction with this, if we suffer through another real estate recession, then we don't even have to pay Equity Key back.
Wow.
Correct, Wendy?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. See, we're a partner at that point in your business called your house, and when the business doesn't do well and the house goes down, we suffer along with that. In fact, our money is lost first. So if we were to give a homeowner $100,000 and real estate dropped by $100,000, they would owe us nothing. And so our money is lost first, and that homeowner would still be whole because they still have the $100,000 that they got from us, and hopefully have put that to work and even grown that. So
are you crazy, Wendy?
On a partner both. Well, see, we think long term real estate appreciates fairly predictably. It's only in the short term that we have some bumpy ups and downs. But think about it this way too. The reason that it's not too good to be true is think about the homeowner's goals as well. Mm-hmm. At the time that real estate goes down and depreciates, that is the time that a homeowner is least likely to want to sell their home, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So our interests are really aligned with the homeowner. When things go up, we're both happy because we're both making money, and when things go down, we both hope that we just kind of sit tight and ride through that and get out the other side.
So we can
our interests are very aligned with the homeowner.
Right. We can have a partner on the good side and a partner on the bad side, and either way, it's a partner that helps support us. Mm-hmm. So, Wendy, we're running short on time. Tell our listeners how they find out more about Equity Key.
Well, check us out on our website at www.equitykey.com or give us a call at 619-400-8960.
Great. Hey, Wendy, appreciate you being here. This is a great storyline that I plan on sharing with a lot of people.
Great. Hope we can help. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you. So this is Close Up on Sending a Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD or just find our page on Facebook. You can always email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.